the notice. Please be advised that there will be a full committee meeting of the Medford Comprehensive High School Building Committee held via only. The meeting can be viewed live on Medford Public Schools YouTube channel, through Medford Community Media on your local cable channel, which is Comcast 9, 8, or 22, and Verizon 43, 45, or 47. This meeting is being recorded. Participants can log in or call in by using the following information. The Zoom link is, the meeting ID is 954-4613-8016. So I will kick off our agenda by calling the roll. Jenny Graham here, Mayor Lungo Kern,
Here.
Dr. Galusi,
Here.
Dr. Cushing,
Here.
Ms. Cabral,
Here.
Libby Brown,
Here.
Marissa Desmond, I think we saw Marissa.
She's here. I just made her a co-host. My apologies.
Marissa, you should be able to unmute now.
Here.
Thanks. Maria Dorsey,
Here.
Brian Hilliard,
Here.
Tracy Keene,
Here.
Emily Lazaro. I don't see Emily yet. Nicole Morell. I don't see her yet. Aaron Olapade,
Here.
Luke Preisner, Joan Bowen,
Here.
Bob Dickinson,
Here.
Fiona Maxwell. I don't see Fiona. Will Pipicelli. I saw Will.
Here.
Chad Fallon,
Here.
Lori Hodgson, John McLaughlin.
I'm here.
Oh, I see Luke. Okay. Paul Rousseau,
Here.
Philip Santos. I don't see Philip. And Lisa Miller.
Here.
Okay, so we have 13 present, 2 absent. So we do have a quorum. As I mentioned, I think this will be a relatively quick meeting. Just a couple of updates. We did go to the OPM panel review with the MSBA earlier today. We were the only community that they had this time, so I think they actually had like more time to ask us questions. The review went really well, thanks to the left field team for providing the information that MSBA requested, and I already saw a follow-up to one of the questions that they had go over, so that should be all taken care of. They had questions about and noted that some of the things that we saw, the OPM selection committee saw in left field and recommended around student involvement, definitely stood out to them as well. And the other big point of discussion was the timeline, and we did lay out in our package that we are looking to move as quickly as we possibly can. And so we had some good, healthy discussion about that with the MSBA team. And we have provided them all of our deliverables for this next gate, which will be to bring on a designer or an architect who will actually be able to do that feasibility study that we're all like waiting for. So we have provided them what we believe that they need from us, and they will go back and look at the calendar on their end and advise about what our timetable can be going forward. So, they thanked us for being prompt and on the ball, and did mention that there's a lot of communities. When we were admitted, 19 communities were admitted, which is sort of on the higher end of what they normally do. So they're working their way through that to get us a slot as soon as possible. So I'm expecting that we will hear something from them in the next week or so about what our possible timeline can be. And then we'll make adjustments to the timeline that we discussed when we were last together to line up with whatever the MSBA has to say. The notice questions about the OPM. So I'm expecting that we will hear something from No? Okay. The other reason that we are convening tonight, just by way of like sort of the process, what we are waiting for is a letter from the MSBA confirming the conversation that we had today and their approval of our selection of left field. And once we get that, we will be asked to sign that letter. So the mayor is on tap to do that. But before she can do that, we all have to take a vote to approve the signing of that contract. So that's really the entire agenda for today. And then I just have one quick scheduling note at the end. But that's our entire agenda for today. So I just wanted to find out if anybody had any questions about that, or if there is a motion to approve that we can consider. Brian?
I do have a quick question. I just was reading through the proposal earlier, and just to clarify the cost estimates, I'm curious. I know they slated at the very end, a couple possibilities of two smaller ones or one larger one, and they've got PMNC on board, or it looks like they would bring PMNC on board to do that. Is that coming out of the flat fee for these guys, or is that something that's additional tacked on if and when? So I'm just curious about the independent cost estimates.
Sure. Jen Carlson, do you want to answer that question? I think we might have to make her a co-host.
Hello, can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. I would love to answer that question. Yes, those are slated, those are on top of the fee of $525,000. We typically what happens, we will run the architect will have their own estimator, and then we will have an independent estimator on top of that so that the two can reconcile their estimates. That happens usually at the PDP phase. The first phase, we can talk about whether we want to have one at the PSR phase. The designer is required to do an estimate at the PSR, that first checkpoint, and then at PDP, we'll have two estimators. And then it sounds like if the project is interested in bringing a CM at risk on board, the instead of having the OPM provide an estimate, we typically have the construction manager provide one plus the designer. But it's not unheard of if you wanted to have a third one at that schematic design phase. So something that we'll definitely get into more in detail on and figure out what the committee wants to do with that. But it is on top of outside of that fee.
Great, thanks. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that, there could be an additional charge.
Yes, thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for left field.
Okay,
I'll
a
second.
motion to approve the contract by Dr. Galusi,
I'll second.
seconded by Dr. Cushing. Any other questions or comments before we take a vote? Okay. So I will call the roll. Jenny Graham, yes. Mayor Longo-Kern,
Yes.
Dr. Galusi,
Yes.
Dr. Cushing,
Yes.
Marta Cabral,
Yes.
Libby Brown,
Yes.
Marissa Desmond,
Yes.
Maria Dorsey,
Yes.
Brian Hilliard,
Yes.
Tracy Keene,
Yes.
Emily Lazaro is absent, Nicole Morel is absent, Aaron Olapade,
Yes.
Luke Preisner,
I think he mentioned his mic's not working.
Let's see, do we have? Yes.
Oh.
Okay, we've got a yes. And Joan Bowen.
Yes.
So 13 in the affirmative, 2 absent, 0 in the negative. Motion passes. Just a quick scheduling note. We are working on setting up a standing monthly meeting going forward, and I have been working with Matt and Lisa Malone from the superintendent's office on a proposed schedule there so that we can all put these things on our calendar for many months to come. So we'll work on that and try to get that buttoned up this week. We do have a meeting in person next week, and we'll actually dive into the designer selection phase in a bit more detail in terms of what to expect and what the plans are and how we're going to proceed. And hopefully we'll have some more information from MSBA about what our timeline looks like at that time as well. So I think it will be a good time for us to meet. And so we'll work on that. So look forward to meeting invitations from Lisa Malone. We should be good to go there, and we'll be able to get that on the calendar so people can plan accordingly. And that is the whole meeting. So if there is a motion to adjourn, I'd be happy to entertain it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Aaron,
Seconded.
second by Brianna. Okay, motion to adjourn by Aaron Olapade, seconded by Mayor Longo-Kern. Roll call, Jenny Graham, yes. Mayor Longo-Kern.
Yes.
Susie, Dr. Galusi,
Yes.
Dr. Cushing,
Yes.
Marta Cabral,
Yes.
Libby Brown.
Yeah.
Marissa Desmond,
Yes.
Maria Dorsey,
Yes.
Brian Hilliard,
Yes.
Tracy Keene,
Yes.
Emily Lazaro is absent, Nicole Morrell is absent, Aaron Olapade,
Yes.
Luke Preisner, and Joan Bowen.
Yes.
And a yes from Luke. Okay, 13 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, 2 absent. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We'll